For South Carolina to decide whether it will accept more than $700 million in stimulus money from the federal government.
Yeah, one of the guys holding out so far, South Carolina's Governor Gov Sanford, and he joins us live this morning. Good morning to you, Governor.
Pleasure to join you.
All right, so you have until tomorrow to make what some might say would be one of the biggest decisions in your life, at least as governor. What are you going to do?
Right now we're saying no, and I think we've staked out a very reasonable position, which is more than $8 billion of total stimulus money will come to South Carolina. We've said let's take about 10% of that and allocate it to paying down debt, to, in essence, getting our finances just a little bit better in order so we can ride out this financial storm and indeed have a stronger economy. The administration has come back twice and said no, but more interestingly, they've tied in with that running thousands of ads against me here over this last week saying we don't think it's a good idea. I've seen a whole lot of Chicago-style politics right here in South Carolina.
Which we were just discussing before on Carl Rowe's column. But, Governor, what they're saying is South Carolina needs so much. How dare you as governor turn down free money?
Well, one, there is no such thing as free money, as we all know. There is always a string attached. And in this case, the string that's attached is that if we simply take all this money and spend it, we end up with a $744 million financial hole 2 years from now. And the question I have to ask as a steward of resources here in this state is, okay, what happens then? And the easiest of all things for me to do politically would be just say, who cares? It's not my problem because I'm done with this job in 18 months. But 24 months from now, we would have a $744 million financial hole, and the question is, again, what would we do then? The other thing that I think is important is I think that if you receive the mother of all lottery proceeds, which is in essence what this stimulus package represents to the different states across this country, a huge windfall of money, it makes a whole lot of sense to put some aside for a rainy day. If a family received a giant windfall and they put some money aside to paying down the mortgage or paying off the credit card balances, you'd say that's a prudent family. States ought to be doing the same.
Let me ask you real quickly, because your state has the second highest unemployment rate. So there is another side to this story. So obviously some constituents in your state would want you to take this money.
Well, again, the presumption there is, well, there's a lot longer story to the unemployment rate because we have the 6th fastest growing labor force in the United States of America because a lot of people are moving to South Carolina, and that affects our labor, our unemployment rate. But without going into those numbers, I would simply say this. I don't think that growing government is the absolute key to providing greater opportunities across the state of South Carolina. And the presumption that many people are working from in this stimulus package is something that was proven not to work in the 1990s in Japan or the 1930s in the United States of America.
Governor, I say one thing we know we're going to start the show with talking about tomorrow, your decision on the stimulus package and whether you're going to take the money or not. Governor Gov Sanford, who many people think will be a leading candidate to be president or to get the nominee for the Republican side for President of the United States. Thanks for joining us this morning.
My pleasure. Take care.